Did that work?
Oh, sweet. Yep, we're on. We're on.
Sick.
Wow, first, dude, it's been a long time. How's it going?
It has, man. It's going well, man. It's going well. Yeah, work is just, crazy, but good
Looks
crazy.
like you're growing out the hair too. All right.
I see the flow. Yeah, man. This is incredible.
Yeah, a little lettuce popping out the back.
Absolutely, bro. Likewise. This is unreal.
All
How you
right.
been though? Everything good?
Oh, just lots of work. Oh man, I'm pumped for this because I'm always looking for another opportunity to make more content. Put out more content and like good content.
I completely agree, man. And I think this is I think this is going to be an amazing opportunity. And your vision, will for sure.
I think we got some good pieces here, some good building blocks to work with. How you been? So you're moving, you say you're moving to a different team next week, but it's internally, right?
Yeah, internal. Yep. It's good though. They, more opportunity. And honestly, from some of the work that I was doing from back at GS. So project management wise. Yeah, a little bit. I'm just pulling up another program for more notes because I have like dual monitors. So
yeah.
I can utilize another screen for like just jotting down notes and stuff. But yeah, man, it'll be good. It's going to happen next week. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Just keep me busy. But
that's great. You think it'll be like more work or just different work?
They had me pivot like 3 months ago, just because for bandwidth purposes, they needed someone with some of the background to help jump in. And it's been good. So they're actually going to have me transfer over and do it full time.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes, but it goes into effect next week. So
yeah. So right up, stepping right up to bat.
Yeah, man. What about you? How, everything going well? How's your life going, man?
It's good. Good. Just second year resident now, so still 2.5 years to go. Now that we're almost halfway through this one, just a lot of work each week, a lot of learning, a lot of different things. Yeah, it's just constantly working, but it's this stuff that really sets up the fundamental building blocks, I think, for like, the brand and marketing. You really want to make something, you want to work for yourself, you got to own it. You got to own yourself. Otherwise someone else will own you. That's just how it works.
I can't agree more, man.
That's how it works.
Can't agree more. Yeah.
But that being said, so yeah, let's jump right into it. So we're coming up with a podcast. We're thinking of topics, names, strategy. I think we should do a lot of strategy today, because sometimes if you just start, it all kind of comes together.
Yep.
But the fact is like, there's only one way to open up a YouTube account. There's only one way to transfer video into audio into being able to post on podcasts, right? That's non-negotiable. That's like a one-way street. Whereas what name we could go with for the podcast, we could bounce off ideas for weeks. We could talk about we could change topics 10 times before we really kind of catch a stride. As far as like topics and genres that we're going to host podcasts on. I think the biggest thing that we want to keep in mind for this is both of our schedules are extremely hands-on, are extremely busy and time consuming. So we're going to have to work around both of our schedules. Luckily, we have the Zoom strategy where we could Zoom it, record it. We'd have to So essentially just a overview. We finished this podcast. We got to have it downloaded to your computer. I don't even think I have enough space on my computer, to be honest with you. Like with all the things.
Listen, I have a very large hard drive. I'll tell you how much. I don't know how much space each of these videos takes up.
I don't know.
But just as a general knowledge, I have. I can tell you in 2 seconds. Hold on.
We can even make like a Google account so that we can both see it. And then it doesn't matter which computer it goes to as long as it gets into the Google account. I think it's like, it might be like $60 a year or something for one or for, no, 2 terabytes. I think that's what we have for our company.
Yep. So I was gonna say I have 250 gigs left on my computer. But yeah, if we want to, yeah, if it's like 60, yeah, for like some type of cloud subscript, whatever, for
Exactly.
Google, a terabyte,
Exactly.
2 terabytes. I mean, you just, yeah, transfer it right over into there.
$60 a year, we could split that. That's like not even an issue. So what we do is just to see, like, the strategy is built on how the simplicity of like the route of how to disperse the content. So we record the episode, right? Then right away after it downloads, we got to post it right to YouTube, labeling it. It's going to save to the computer, push that into the drive, from the drive, upload into YouTube. So we need to make a YouTube account and channel. I don't know if we could keep our own accounts and make one channel, or if we need to make a separate YouTube account and channel. We're going to have to look into that. Post directly, full interview, event, whatever it is, say interview, or session or episode, however we want to look at it, directly into YouTube. Reason being is now that's like immediate, it's right away. Sometimes people are waiting for it. Number two is that if we're going to be posting it on potentially TikTok, definitely Instagram, right, on a separate Instagram account, onto Facebook, potentially onto LinkedIn, and definitely also, so we're going to have the main version on regular on YouTube, but then the shortened versions, we call those the chop ups. Okay. Those are going to be on YouTube Shorts, and YouTube Shorts are like the full phone screen, right? Versus like YouTube regular is horizontal like this.
Okay.
You see, so the full version, we go horizontal, regular. Then we chop up the video into mini segments, better for the TikTok attention, Instagram attention, YouTube Shorts attention. That's got to be phone screen width, right? Height. So it's separate, which means we need to make a template then, because it's going to fill up the middle of the screen, but then we're going to put the speaker information on the bottom. We're going to put potentially sponsors on the bottom when we have them, and then our name, logo, our thing at the top. You see, this is the direction we're going to go in. But you see what so this is, it's going to be complicated, right? But I did it for a whole year with one of our teams last year before things got super busy. But this is going to allow us to get it onto YouTube, the full version YouTube for documentation, right? Episode 1.0, that's the full version. And then we make the template, keep the speaker, we chop it up into individual segments. So say it's 30 minutes. We're going to chop it into pieces based on the question and answers.
Okay.
Potentially into 10, 15, 25 individual pieces. That is better for the short, on-demand, instant gratification attention span. TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram, Facebook Reels, LinkedIn now as well. And obviously podcasts. Everything that goes onto YouTube is also going to podcasts. Those are going to be the two main entities. And then Instagram, TikTok, Facebook Reels, and LinkedIn are just going to be the short segments, the chopped up versions. Okay. So this is all marketing. This is all strategy, right? The actual content and branding is going to come from what we I think we just develop it over time. But I think today, this is what we want to talk about, is like how we're going to do this.
So yeah, absolutely. So regarding the back end, like putting it onto YouTube, getting it onto, like, I don't want to say I have all the time in the world, but I'm at an advantage because for the most part, I work from home full time. You know what I mean? So
it's fire. That's fire. We need that.
It helps.
And I'm barely ever home.
Yeah, 100%, man. So, and you and I, we have the same mentality. Like right now, or whether this is a Tuesday night or Friday, Saturday night, I'd rather be doing this or working on something like, you know what I mean? Like I'd rather devote my time to something like this. So time-wise, in terms of utilizing all those different platforms, I think we're going to be good, man. I don't think that should be a roadblock, honestly.
Good.
I think
we're going to need one post a day on all platforms, but you good? Everything good?
Yeah. I'm just trying to freaking not have my computer. Hold on. Okay. Sorry. Software updates, they like automatically run if you don't like change the, so.
Oh yeah.
My computer would have just shut down. So yeah.
All good. But posts are going to have to be every day. And I'm going to teach you how to do that too. So this is just like the overall process. Every day we need one clip segment. Let's say clips, right? Clips we're going to be making through the chop document, and then the chops that we're going to outsource to a freelancer and get that taken care of, right? But the clips need to be uploaded every day to all the platforms. And the way we do this is what I do with my content. I upload it, I make it, and I upload it to Instagram, right? So we'll have a collaborated Instagram account that's called the Something Something Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
From Instagram, there's a website where you can download Instagram Reels. Oh, and by the like, you post it as a reel on Instagram. Maybe once in a while we do a post to broadcast like upcoming events and whatnot. Post it as a reel, repost to the story, because the story pops up like an update, right? Reels don't always go to people's feed, but the story is more likely to be seen up top. Once we post a reel, we got to download that from a separate website, and then it goes to the camera roll. And now we have the clean version of the video. If we made any edits. Otherwise, it's going to be in the Google Drive, and we just post that from there to TikTok, from there to YouTube Shorts, from there to Facebook Reels, from there to potentially LinkedIn, right? If it applies to the very professional audience, got to go to LinkedIn too. LinkedIn is huge right now for both of our networks, by the way, Matt. For both of our LinkedIn is the professional platform. Like, that's huge for both of us. We're young, we're early on in our careers.
Yeah.
I just wanted to throw that out there. You're in the prime position too. You're fully remote. Oh my God, if I knew remote jobs existed. Oh, forget about it. Forget about it. Jesus Christ.
It's wild. It's wild.
And then from there into podcasts. Yeah, it's literally a great opportunity. But you see what I mean? So every day it's got to be a post. Hopefully, like what I do is right when I wake up. It's got to be like right when you wake up, Matt, because I'm not going to be able to post these. Because I have 2 or 3 other accounts that I'm posting every day already.
Oh yeah. No, we'll get a good system down, man, for sure. I usually get up around like 6:30. So
yeah,
I'm up early.
That's perfect. Yeah. And I do know you have long days, but I'm gonna need a lot of help with the legwork, and we're gonna put the pieces we're gonna make this process streamlined. That's what we're gonna get down to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think the first thing we're gonna have to do is, I mean, technically, and by the way, we're going to have plenty of content to post every day, because after 3 events or interviews or like this, what we're going to have is we're going to have 3 events, but each of them is going to be chopped up into, say, anywhere between probably 10 to up to 50 videos, potentially. It's a good one. It's a long one, right? So if you have 3 averaging 15 to 20 videos each, that's already 2 months right there, you see?
Yeah.
Of every day, of content every day. So that's how it works. And I'm hoping you and we could get at least 1 interview event in a month, probably 2. We could probably, if we're really humming, we could probably get 2 in a month. So that's how it works. We need to start with literally just like, I don't know. So what are you thinking? Do you want to like bring on business owned influencers? I think that would be cool to bring on influencers, because we could potentially tap into a community that's not tapped into right now. People don't know behind the influencers' lives a lot of times.
Yeah. Besides the actual influencers posting a day in the life of type of whatever, but that's short, like short, segmented, random things, right? Like,
right.
And that's fit. Now, do you want to like, is that like fitness influencers, fashion influencers? Like, I mean, there's so many different types of influencers out there, right? Like, it's like,
I'd be down for anything. Cause say you're in fashion right now, and I'm an oral surgery resident, right? And you're in business and fine, right? Like, but between both of our backgrounds, both of our personalities and intellectual skills, I think we could kind of pull the pieces together. So like, we've got to think on a broad scale, who's going to follow this thing? Like, what are they going to want to, where are we going to gain an audience? Reels are good. TikTok is it's unbelievable.
I'm hearing TikTok. So dude, like, I mean, and I'm not on the platforms as, as much, but what I just see from a public perception is, and just from randomly scrolling every so often, like I could just tell you off the bat, man, I see like Gary V type videos and like motivational type of stuff. I see Jordan Peterson type of videos, that guy with all the whatever. Whatever they call that, manifesting, those
Yeah.
type of people, and then you got the fitness guys that are giving like those quotes.
Now
Andrew
remember, the
Tate,
algorithm is also targeting your interest.
and that's exactly so that for a specific type of person, right? So what would like for us and our content, like whose algorithms would get sparked for what we're providing, right? Like, is it, I mean, I don't know. Like, that's going to be interesting. But I feel like providing, like, what's the gain, right? Like, what is
Yeah.
the output that people can gain off of this?
Yeah. What do people want to listen to that we can provide, that we can kind of get the insight into? So tap into something that hasn't been tapped to yet.
Right. It's exactly, which is, it's not easy, but I feel like I mean, I feel like to listen to somebody talk about how they developed their account, what they have done to get to where they are. It's interesting. But there are so many out there right now, right? Like, I feel like 50,000 followers is not what it was 7 years ago, 6, 7 years ago.
It's very hard to get to 50,000. It's very hard to get any followers right now. I mean, I
No,
see friends starting to post and they're not gaining dick right now. Like, no one's getting followers.
no, exactly, man. It's become hard, right?
I posted 2 or 3 weeks ago about like comparing medical and dental students with the mask versus residents with the mask. It took 2 weeks to take off, but for the last week it took off, and I think I gained about 300-400 followers from that. This is the first time I've gained that many followers in 2 years.
Wow.
When I just started posting reels on Instagram, I was gaining that like every couple of videos, and very quickly that stopped. But what I'm saying is, like, now I haven't seen that in 2 years. It's so hard to gain followers now. I think that would be a really big thing we could bring to the platform, is how do influencers gain followers, or how did they gain their followers? I mean, there's going to be a lot of probably fake news with that, but
I agree.
it's definitely worth a try. I mean, you know what I mean? Everyone wants to know how to get big on TikTok, Instagram, this and that, you
Yeah,
know?
and TikTok, like, yeah, it doesn't have to. I don't think we need to strictly go after IG influencers. Like, we can go to TikTok. We can go to people that are big on TikTok, right? We can,
I
like
think we go to people big on LinkedIn too.
LinkedIn. Yeah,
Like
that's more
everywhere,
business perspective, right? I don't know, unless LinkedIn
everywhere.
changed, but like, there's no fashion influencers. Are there fashion influencers on LinkedIn these days? I have no idea.
It's a good question. I don't know.
Is LinkedIn being utilized as, what Gary always says, like, day trade attention, right? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like TikTok. Oh, and isn't Be Real like something that's up and coming too? Is that even being used, or is that just more of like a private, like,
Be Real? I don't know what's Be Real.
Be Real is, it's like, I guess it's I don't have a Be Real account, but you take a photo once a day, every day, like you set a timer, and like you have to take the photo of your front and back. It's like your front and back camera. There's like no filters or anything like that. It's just like a day of like, or an event of what you're doing. And it's like, there's no filters to it, but it's very private. Apparently, I hear that what they have in the app is like your location, and like they post where you are, type of thing. So I think it's I don't know if maybe they'll modify that and patch it, but it's more like a front back camera, real time photo of like what you're doing. So I don't know. Yeah, I think it's relatively new, but it's also, I have seen it a couple times come up. So I don't know if it'll catch on. Maybe not, but
Yeah, yeah. We'll keep an eye on that. That's interesting. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that at all.
Mhm.
We got to think about, yeah, well, we got to come up with, well, all we need to do is start with one. Because for another podcast, I'm starting to do with actually an undergrad. I He's right now interviewing dental students and residents. He's going to be applying to dental school in a year, and he created a podcast that does that. And I kind of, it's been 10 months since I was able to do an event with our company with the team that we had of like 7, 8 people. So obviously disbanded undergrad students, people already went to different schools and whatnot. Everyone's busy. We can't get them back probably. Maybe one day we'll try if we have the money to and the time to actually sit down and call them. But essentially, I'm trying to work with this guy, bring him on board with our team. If he's already doing events, let me like support him, keep him going, and then add in other events because he can't interview dentists really on like a detailed level, but I can. You know what I mean? Like higher level residents and dentists. So I wanted to add that like vary a bit that other end to his podcast, right? But so the whole point of me mentioning this to you is what I'm thinking is because what I wanted to do is interview dentists, and everyone wants to in dentistry, for example, everyone kind of wants to be their own business owner. And I beg to differ, most people don't one, most people don't have what it takes. And then two, I think at this point in time, most people don't want to. They kind of just want to pay the marketer to do all the marketing for their dental practice. They want to hire an accountant to do all of the, they kind of, I'm afraid of this because it's not good. I think the dentists just want to come in to and do the treatment, treat the patient, and get a paycheck at the end of the day and leave, right? Get, like, so to say, right? But you're leaving a lot of money on the table. Money on the table means less time with your family in the long run, less time going on vacations in the long run. You're going to have less vacation time. You're going to have less ownership over your own lifestyle and over your own career. So what I kind of want to teach from that perspective is like, no, you really want to try to entertain the fact of being a business owner, even if it's not a business owner, a partner, an associate in a private practice, so you can still own your own work, something like that. So what I'm getting to is, could there be something here that we could do here as far as like,
I have a question for you, and I don't personally,
yeah.
I don't know. Anything off the top of your mind? Can you think of anything that is like that currently that's out there? Because we have, like, I obviously want to hit a new.
Yeah, we want to hit a new niche.
Or is there a lot out there that's like that? I don't. To me personally, man, like, yes, podcasts are whatever, they're out there, right? But it's attainable, man. Like, you can build, like, if the quality of the content is good, right? And the interviews, or whether it's 15 minutes, 20, whatever we have, I feel like between our personalities and like what we can provide and who we know and just that market, I think it could do that. I think you do very well. I just want to be able, I want us to be able to provide something that's relatively different and new, right? And that people can take out of it, which I think we can, right?
Also, to keep in mind, just really quick, we want to try and cap these at 20 minutes too. I don't know if you know, like, you listen to podcasts. We've been listening to podcasts for years. Do you agree?
Sure, man.
When you look at a podcast, so Instagram, everything, you're not looking at time ready. You know it's going to be quick. Instagram, TikTok, etc.
Yep.
But on YouTube and podcasts, when you look at these, let me put it this way. You definitely look at times when you're about to click on an episode, whether it's Tony Robbins, Gary V, the other guy, Jordan. Is there a time where you're like, no, too long, no good? I'd rather listen to 2 at this time rather than 1 at this time. Do you ever do that?
If I don't know who it is, yeah, which is kind of weird to say. Like, if I know, like, just being that, like, if I know who the person is, I'm more zoned in because I know the information that they're outputting, and I'm zoned in. I want to listen, right? Like, I don't think time affects me versus someone new, someone random. Is it capturing my attention? If I'm starting to lose interest, I'll see, oh man, it's 5 minutes of this. Now I'm out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, which is kind of messed up. But but I'll be honest with you too, man. There are a couple, I don't remember the names, but when I first came across them, wasn't real. Maybe even Gary Vee might have been one of them. Like at the very, when I first listened, I was like, I don't know if I really like this. But then more and more, content started hitting. I listened to more, and gradually it got to like, got like, okay, actually I am interested, right? Like,
Yeah.
it might not click off the bat, but as more content gets in there, and I think we're going to hit numerous channels. Maybe one person likes one podcast, like, I mean, not everyone's going to like everything, right? Like,
Right.
it's just how you hit it. But I think I think we do need to keep it to a certain time frame.
Yeah. Yeah. Just to like at least get started, come up with a general. Here, wait, we could also reverse engineer it, right? Because I like the idea. We want to kind of create our own niche. We're going to create our own content forum. But we could reverse engineer where it's like, look, we both work very long, very hard days. What would be something at the end of the day that we could sign on and do for 20 minutes, 15, 20, let's just say 15, 20 minutes every week, every other week, whatever it is, but be consistent, make content from it, pull up, like bring out new questions, new thoughts, definitely have guest speakers. We got to have guest speakers. But you see what I mean? To reverse engine, what would you look forward to signing on to every Wednesday at 8:00?
I like, bro, I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm just thinking, even like gaming influencers or someone that's like a major league pro gamer right now. Like, it'd be cool to listen to like how they got there, right? Like, and I would want to talk to somebody like that, whether it's that or someone in the financial field or who's successful on Wall Street, or it doesn't, you know what I mean? I know recognizable, people would help a lot. I don't know how attainable that would be right away, but anything of that nature, man. I want to hear success stories, and like, I want to, I like talking to people and interviewing people about what they've done,
Yeah.
how they've come.
Success stories.
And it's just cool. I don't know. I think it's interesting, and it will provide amazing feedback, right? Like, it's another channel. There's that American Income, right? They have that guy who walks around the streets. Hey, what do you do? What type of line of field of work are you in? How much do you make? What's your salary? How many years have you been in the field? And it's like not even like a 5-minute interview on the street. And they talk about, like, whether,
and everyone watches it.
And everyone watches it. Because everyone can relate in a way, right? Like, so I don't know. I think if we kind of maybe potentially try that, right? Like, that's something I would be intrigued to talk to people, right? Like, even like dental students, I don't know. I think it's cool. Any line of work, honestly, like, because there's going to be thousands upon thousands of people out there, whether it is a gamer or someone trying to get on Wall Street or someone trying to, be a successful, whatever the case may be. I don't know, get like their backstory, provide advice as to, different routes to go. I don't know. I'm just trying to talk, but what are you thinking?
Yeah, I think we could do that. We could come up with 5 to 10 or a dozen just really fire questions that kind of like, how much money you make? What do you just like quick, like, what do you do? We can make an intro and kind of move it into just a conversation. And then after 15, 20 minutes, we cut it off and that's done. That's it for the week, kind of thing.
Yeah.
We got to get like people on here that and we got to keep it easy, because if we say 15, 20 minutes, people are going to say like, okay, yeah, I could do that. We also have to think of, okay, so Elon Musk's not going to have an interview with us. Okay. Like, we could kind of check that off the box, but
exactly,
maybe, I don't know, middle level influencers, maybe we could try and just,
right. Like,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, are people going to listen to that? You know what I mean? Like, it's easy because, like, obviously Joe Rogan made a name for himself, right? Like, he already had his name out there for his podcast. So clearly he was able to already get high level, to start on his, and the quality of content is interesting. It's more of a back and forth conversation, just shooting the shit type of thing. But yeah, that's it too, is like the who we interview. I mean, obviously what I think is if I'm someone on their side of the fence, I'd want to then say, oh, check me out on this podcast that, and then they'll send it off to their 50,000 followers. Right.
Mm,
So, and then maybe, that's obviously something that would help us out, right? Like they're going to share their podcast and that's going to
yeah.
help us, depending on who what their following is. But the more we get traction too, and the higher the names, the more, views and followers that they'll have, that will then, once they share their podcast, to their followers, and hopefully it's just a domino effect of positive one. But
Yeah. Yeah.
it's interesting.
If
It's like,
we can link with them. Yeah. If we can link with them and create good content with them,
right.
simple, good things that people want to listen to. And then we also have to keep in mind, we have to chop it up into little segments where it's quick question answers that people want to actually listen to.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, dude, it's gonna, starting out for who knows how long, first few months, whatever the case may be, you got to see how it goes. It's gonna, in terms of like catching traction and getting the name out there. But I think
I got it. Let's interview Nick.
Who's this?
Fifth Avenue Nick.
Oh, Nick. Yeah. Fifth Avenue Nick. Yeah. No, hey, yeah, dude, that'd be fantastic start. Yeah,
We got it just because he's got a lot of followers. He seems friendly, right? He's probably outgoing. Just have him on 15, 20 minutes. Can we just, dive right in, and then we could ask. So let's actually put this together, right? Because like, I guess his sphere and niche and kind of who he's surrounded by isn't necessarily the group we're aiming at, but it's kind of like, it's somewhere we could start. It's someone we know. It's someone who we know well enough, who can he can hold a conversation and such, right?
Yeah. And yeah, I agree.
We're spitballing, like we're spitballing ideas here. We're starting.
It's yeah, I think that's a great start. I mean, yeah, he's been on the platform for a while. He's worked with a lot of brands. He definitely knows the ins and outs of influencer marketing and influencer success for sure.
Dude, exactly. Let's just pick his brain on that. Just you and me. Let's pick his brain on that. Let's get some fun questions. So what's the next move? Are you going to have your own brand? Are you just going to keep working for other brands?
Yeah.
What's the goal? What's the end goal? And then we also have to think of, it would be great if maybe if we just have an organic conversation and then we share the link of the folder from the interview with him. He could kind of go through it and look. I don't know. I mean,
there's going to be trial. There's going to be trial and error too, man. Like we're gonna, you know what I mean? Like we're gonna, as we move forward, as we go through a couple interviews, we're gonna have oh man, maybe next time we can do that. You know what I mean? Like there's going to be changes. There's going to be modifications. Like, but I think I like that. Like dig into his brain a little bit, see what his plans are.
He's important. So let's interview him. We'll start with, he's someone we both know. He's important. He's followers. He makes content. So obviously there's goals or ambition there. He has a standing already. Like we can just start there and go with it.
And like, now what about people that are, also we're getting kicked off in 5 minutes because I don't have the pro version of Zoom. This meeting, I can restart a new Zoom call. This call is going to stop. I could just reopen the room again, but
it's all good. I mean, and I think we're like kind of summing up here too. I think we're kind of like getting our answers,
What do you think about someone that's successful in the workplace, not just like an influencer on Instagram, but like someone that is successful as a career, without followers on Instagram? That's like high.
Absolutely. So, but now we have to think, because we talked about, what if we interview Vin? Should be a lot of fun. Great idea.
Right. So he's been in the field for like 25 years. Right, but there's people like, we could get, I mean, my buddy that basically directly reports to Ken Griffin, one of the most successful and net worth individuals in the world. He like directly reports to him, like to hear, he was a managing director at Goldman for like 20 years. He worked in Hong Kong, Singapore, you know what I mean? Like someone interesting like that, like we could have an awesome conversation with him for 20 minutes. You know what I mean? But he has no social media like presence, you know?
Right. And we also don't want to look at it for would be like, what would be the ROI of interviewing them? But then, yeah, I mean, I guess.
But dude, there'd be so many people in the finance world that would listen to that. I'll be honest with you. That's like, but if we like start growing, right? Like, because we're talking about fashion influencing, like finance, corporate world, like there's a lot of like diversity here that we would have on our channel, which I don't think is a bad thing, but it's like, what is our audience? Would someone that's into what Nick does also listen to, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I guess there are podcasts that are like that. I don't know. I'm not a podcast like connoisseur, but again, I think people that do follow podcasts don't listen to every episode, right? Like, I think they would follow for what interests them, right? Like,
yeah.
It's not, they may not listen to every single one, but I think
what would you want to, because then we'd have to title it based around what the purpose, what the content's about, Right.
Yeah. Which we could brainstorm that for sure. Right. Like spotlight something, or I don't know. We can come up with something. We can come up with something for sure.
Yeah. Like, do we want people to tell their story? Do we want to basically dive in and ask people like what their next move is?
Right. Yeah. We're clever. I think we can come up with something interesting. I think.
Like what's your purpose? But then what's something that people are going to relate to?
Either that they're in a similar situation, or the content of the interview is just intriguing to them.
Yeah. So like Humans in New York, that's intriguing to basically everyone.
Exactly.
And they don't
diverse.
Yeah. But then they just pick random people, and I don't even know what they do there, but it's like fascinating,
Right.
Huh.
Yeah.
And then are we trying to get super niche based or not?
I think it's a roll with the punches, man. We have a foundation. Yeah. We have a foundation. It's just
because we could interview everyone, just like whoever we could get on next. But then I think would also be cool. We could also potentially, between our two spheres, like randomly DM influencer or whatever, and kind of like grow a community based on, I don't know.
We're gonna get cut off in like 30 seconds. This meeting's gonna end. What do you want to do? Do you want me to open up another room?
Let's leave it and hit the same link right now. Let's close it, leave it, and then hit the same link. Okay, ready?